Hey there, welcome to the Marketing Matters podcast. Today we're going to talk about some of the marketing trends and tech news that have made headlines. Zuckerberg has new developments in AI, and Apple launches the iPhone 16. So, if you're here for the first time, this is the Marketing Matters podcast where we talk about marketing trends, strategy, technology, developments, and everything in between. I'm your host, Steven Atema, with my lovely co host.
Victoria.
Welcome. Zuckerberg has launched new glasses, and I'm not being smart about it, but there has been several developments or several announcements that have been made by Zuckerberg, and people are even saying, is Meta having an AI moment? Which is Meta now the new innovator in the global tech space? So I think Vicky, I know you're usually very passionate about Meta and and their solutions, especially for
Yeah.
businesses. I would just like to hear what you unpack for our audience what exactly these developments that Zuckerberg has launched are, and maybe what they mean for businesses and marketers.
Yeah, Zuckerberg and Meta generally, they have been very busy in the last 2 years.
Mm,
And one thing I like about Zuckerberg is his confidence in his products. You know, when he
mm,
comes out to talk about his products, you can feel that they have already sorted everything, even if it's in the
baggy.
it's underway. You know, like the way they were talking
Mm,
about the VR and the like. So it's like they he always gives it some confidence that even you look forward to using. Like now, this the glasses that were are supposed to be introduced. He calls it a glimpse of the future. You know, like he gives it.
mm,
You're even curious to know what is this glass all about. What do I
mm.
will I benefit from this glass? And according to
And what is
Zuckerberg,
this future?
yes, what is this switch? And according to him, he believes that the glasses will become a replacement of mobiles. Like it will become
Mm,
like a kind of a mobile, hands-free computer where you can just use you click on the somewhere on the glasses and you are able to communicate with your friends online, you're able to work, you're able to research on different things, you're able to have meetings. So it's like the way you would have the desktop and the laptops, and then the mobile devices came. It started just like you are just sending SMS, you're just making calls, but now mobile devices have become almost a replacement to your computer, because now you're able
mm,
to do more things that you would have done on the computer. But now with the glasses, he was mentioning that this one is even going to be easy because you don't need to carry it on your on your hand. You will just be
mm,
working with your glasses. It's like portable, more portable. So you just click on the glass and you're able to interact with someone, either if the person is within reach or it's in another place. You can still sit like in a coffee shop and you just pull everything that you are supposed to be doing at work, and you're able to
mm.
see it on your screen, and no one will even know that you're working, because now you're just communicating via the glasses. So I think it's a very interesting uh, type of technology that we would want to explore. I know
Mm.
generally those people who have sunglasses, not sunglasses, the normal glasses, the medically proven glasses, I'm sure they're not very cheap. So when you now integrate this to be like a mobile phone, I'm sure
Mm.
it's going to have its own costs. But and I'm also imagining, imagine the whole world, everyone is working
Mm.
with glasses. You know, it
Yeah. No,
sounds so
I'm just
funny,
thinking
but
about those glass manufacturers that are like, thank you, Jesus. So who would have
I
thought?
know. Yeah.
Because there are some
Never is
businesses
getting on our way.
that you do and you know, and this is why I think we always say that you just have to be, if whatever it is that you're doing, you just have to work towards being the best in that industry, because I think they are partnering with Ray-Bans, which is one of
Mm.
the top brands. But imagine the executives at Ray-Bans who are just seated and they're like, how do we make glasses cool again? And
I
then
know.
another a tech guy comes, is like, guys, I would like to partner with you to put a phone inside your cameras, inside your glasses. Eh, They're like, yeah,
Yeah. And
it's a
again, it's
quite an
like,
interesting.
and then it's like he's going to be now he's also shifting his competitor. Like now he
Mm,
was more on the social media space, but now
mm,
he's shifting his, he's now going to be a
focus.
competitor of the mobile devices, the Samsung, the
Mm,
Nokia, so he's again
yeah, actually, that's
going
a
to
very
meet
good
another
insight.
battle. Yeah.
That's a good insight. Actually, he's now no longer competing with social media platforms. He's
Mm-hmm.
competing with. He's actually now is a fully fledged tech company that is competing with
Yeah.
everyone and everything. Because when
Yes.
they integrate those platforms, they will also develop their own what customized apps to make the
Yeah.
experience better for streaming content, for working and whatnot. But I have this contrary opinion, Vicky.
Mm.
While he says that I also got a glimpse of the keynote speech when he says he's going to replace phones or he sees the
Mm.
future being phoneless. I have
Mm.
two reactions to that. One is I don't think they'll. We are still even 10 years now. We'll be at the point where people fully replace their phones with. Maybe we shall fully replace laptops, but I'm not sure we shall be able to fully replace phones. And here is why: because phones, in my view, serve two
Mm.
things. Most people
Mm.
use phones for two main things:
Mm-hmm.
cameras, taking
Mm-hmm.
photos, and
Mm-hmm.
social media. Now,
Yes.
it might be easier to replace the functionality of a camera with the glasses because it might have its own lens, and it maybe they
Mm-hmm.
can improve it so that it can even take better videos and cameras. So that when sometimes you see something and you are like, by the time I remove my phone, it has already
Mm.
occurred. So that I see that will be a very big use case. But most people will still, in my view, want to interact on social media or on with their family members or their loved ones still via some form of via the phone. So I foresee that maybe the phone use cases might reduce, but you will still maybe be working with a phone inside your gadget. What will be happening is whatever picture or video you'll be taking as you're walking, it will be saved in your device, so it might be linked to your maybe your iPhone or your Samsung device, so that after you're done with that, now you can go home. Remember, also wearing glasses is also a
It's
bit
hectic.
sometimes has its own challenges. You usually get um fatigued with the eye, so maybe you want to go home, you don't want to wear glasses for 12 hours a day, you just want to wear it when you're walking, then you go home, you
Yeah.
see the videos you captured and whatnot. So I foresee it
Uh,
being more complementary than replacing.
yeah, it could be, but
Mm,
just think about users or us human
mm.
beings when there were no mobile phones. What were you using? We would
There was no social
mostly.
media.
Yeah, there was no social media, but
Mm,
what was our means of communication? We would either meet physically or we
mm.
would write letters,
Letters.
and then the phones came, we would make calls, but still
Mm,
write letters, and then we
mm,
would meet physically. Then we
mm.
reached a point where
We
we
text.
had the mobile phones, we would text. But
Mm.
now we are going to, with the technology of the glasses, I can decide I don't want to text. Yeah, I'm becoming lazy now to text. I just click and I'm able to converse with you audio. Like with audio, I'm just like I'm
Yes.
making a call. So
Yes.
it still makes sense. Like there is
I
an
have agreed on
advantage.
that end that it will even it in my view it might even increase the people doing more video calls than they would
Yeah,
now currently. But what I'm saying
yeah.
is, what about the social interactions? Because most people are also on their phones. Usually, if they are not taking photos, they are on street or on social media platforms.
Which is true. Remember the time there is a video that we did about the news on Facebook talking about virtual
Mm,
reality, where they were
mm,
saying that you'll be on social media and it's like you are having a conversation with that person physically,
mm,
like you entered in this virtual experience. It's because the whole point is they are trying to see how can we be able to ensure that you are
mm,
keeping your social life, but
mm.
you're trying to make it real.
Yeah, yeah. In
Yeah,
fact,
so
now
it's
that
like that is
I
the
would
whole
like to
point.
retract my statement because
Yeah.
I have realized while the world is moving towards everybody trying to be an influencer,
Hmm.
most of us on social media are consumers. So
Yes.
we use social media for just we go to social media to just consume content. We don't create. So if I'm
Yes.
on Facebook, I'm just reading people's stories and trends.
Yeah.
If I'm on YouTube, I'm watching videos. If I'm on X, I'm
Yeah.
listening to conversations. maybe liking and whatnot. But I have very on those platforms. It's like I'm watching Netflix, but now
Mm-hmm.
in form of a social media stream. So I think,
Yeah.
but I still feel it might not replace, but it has the, if they are able to make it so smooth such that I can watch. I am going to work, because also in future, I think he's also looking at a future where people will be on driverless cars, not
Mm-hmm.
driverless cars. So I'll be in my car, but I'm not driving it. So as I'm going to work,
Mm.
I am just in my glasses watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Or
I,
watching something about being a better marketer, or even watching this podcast.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I can do that without having to bend over and look at my screen, I think, yeah,
Yeah.
you are actually right.
And then
But
there's even
it
a
is an
gadget.
interesting feature. Mm,
There's even a gadget in an AI gadget that was introduced.
mm,
I don't know if it has a name, but there was a
mm,
gadget that was introduced that you don't need. In fact, they were saying you don't need to walk with your mobile phone. So like
mm,
you will put it like on your shirt or on your cloth, like as if you're like the way you'll have the cordless microphones. Like you'll
yeah,
have them on your cloth, and then you just walk. You ask it questions. You can make a call,
yeah. There was a
and
review
you're
on
just
that gadget. That company is now bankrupt.
which is
I'll
true,
share with you something on
already,
that, and it
but
flopped
already,
significantly. Mm.
which is true, but you see, that's
Mm.
an idea that already a bigger company will
Yes, yes,
capture
yes.
it and
Yeah.
decide now to make it better because it's an opportunity that they will not want to lose.
Actually, the more we talk about it, I was very skeptical with that keynote address. But the more we talk about it, the more I see you might be right. This guy is on to something. So you
Yeah,
guys keep it here for more updates on that story. But
yeah,
as
and
you've seen us discuss, it is very clear that things we don't imagine now to be possible
yeah.
could significantly be the way that it could be what our kids or the future generation find normal.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
on
Mm.
the same line, Meta also has introduced the Meta AI now, where you have
Yes.
voice conversations either on WhatsApp, on
Mm.
Facebook, on Instagram, and even they were mentioning that they'll start including familiar voices that you can request for. Like you can, it's like you are having Chat GPT. Let me just make
Yes.
it simpler. It's like you're having Chat GPT on your WhatsApp or on your Facebook or on your Instagram. So
Mm.
you can, and even with them, they have even made it almost the same features that ChatGPT had. Like you can include a photo, and AI, Meta AI will still respond to the question. Like it will say, "How can I make this?" And you put the
Mm.
image, and then the Meta AI responds, but in audio. So you're able to have like almost like a real time conversation without
Mm.
necessarily doing a lot of typing, and even the AI responding through type. So that is also a feature that
Mm.
is going to be very interesting. If you want to reshare a photo, you can re-edit with the AI the background, and then you post it as a story. So it's like
Mm.
it's going to be a competitor even with Canva, because Canva was also going to include this feature on their tool, on the
Mm.
part of as part of their tools. But now Meta is trying to integrate everything that is seeing its competitors, or how do we call them? The people who the companies that sort of work together with Meta. They are trying to include all those features in their platform, which is very interesting. And
Mhm.
it's also going to be, they're also saying that they're going to make it interesting for businesses, especially when you're having maybe adverts and then you want people to interact with you either through via messenger or DMs. They mostly talked about messenger, that you will have that automated response. Okay, we have been having the automated response, but this one is going to be advanced because now the
Mm.
Meta will be getting information from all over and then just responding to you as if it's a human being, which is very, very interesting. So we are looking forward to it. I tried looking at it because you know me, I love Meta products and I'm
Yes.
using them currently. So I I went ahead and tried to log in to try to see how it works. And then unfortunately I was told it is not available yet in my
In our
country.
country. Yeah.
Yes, so they are still in the prototype stages, but once
Mm.
roll it out, I'm sure we'll be able to use it. So it's an interesting
And
thing.
why don't you always get good things? But
I know
guys
we are a
can
developing country.
guys can be sure that when those what's the word, when that thing, or when that platform, or when that solution becomes mainstream, you shall hear it first here in the Marketing Matters podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite sad, on in that sense, that you have given me an insight about Zuckerberg's Meta competing now with even mobile phone developers like Safari, like iPhone
Samsung.
and Samsung. And while that is happening, Apple is just there, the AI, they seem to be struggling with the AI race. Apple used to be the innovator, they were the ones who did
Yeah,
the best. But now they seem to be really struggling with these new changes and even innovation of their products. Which brings me to our final story for the day, which is Apple has launched, or did launch, the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. And I'll just say this. If you have an iPhone, if you have an iPhone 13, 14, 15 Pro, you have very little reason to upgrade to the iPhone 16. I'm not bashing that product. Maybe if you don't have an iPhone and you want to upgrade to buy an iPhone, probably buy the iPhone 16, because it's of course the newest gadget. But if you have the iPhone 15 Pro, iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone even 13 Pro, you shall see very minimal changes, or very minimal upgrades to justify your purchase. The main one that I've seen is they have launched a new camera button, which it's neither here nor there. In fact, how you use it is, it will benefit maybe people who do landscape photos, but most people take portrait photos. So that is also, it will have very little use cases. They have also say okay, they have also made the camera better. It's better, but not as a significant leap as they had done with the iPhone 14 and 13. And the launch promised a lot of things, specifically AI related, but
yeah,
they are not yet on that phone. They say this phone has been built ground up for AI, but the only thing they have added on that phone is an additional, I think it's now standard 8 gigabyte RAM. But the products or the features they promised that are going to be, and even they even took this name and called it Apple what? Apple Intelligence. But the app, or those products that they promised on the launch, are not yet available on the phone. So why buy a phone now for a future promise that it will do? You would rather wait for next year for them to launch iPhone 17 with the actual AI solutions. And I would also like to just say something. This AI race has gotten a lot of companies uh, going mad, or running around each other, trying to see how do we stay
yeah,
relevant, or do something to the consumer. But most of the time, you will notice that at this stage of AI, we are not yet we have not yet made leaps and bounds that can justify somebody saying that this phone is AI, is built
yeah.
ground up for AI. So
Mm.
that is my review, or or thoughts about
Yeah,
anybody who wants to
and
upgrade
is
the
it?
iPhone. But I would like, I
Mm.
think also, I don't know, Vicky, what going about over nothing, but who knows?
It's true. It's true. The way the phones right now have been built, they are
Mm,
almost going to that optimal phase where there is nothing much you will improve that will
mm,
appease your customers. Like you have done
consumers.
almost everything that you needed to do, unless you're just talking about increasing the speed and increasing the memory. And then how far or how much can you,
How much?
how far can
Mm,
you go? So I think that they are going to that optimal stage. So the only competitive advantage, or the only thing that they would add that would seem to be a bit different, is the AI. But now
mm.
it's like we are still in that phase where you don't know this AI, how would we integrate it here? Which AI
Yes.
would work best for my customers? What would I do to make it so of a wow feature that I would want to buy that iPhone? So we are still in that learning phase. Everyone in this market, but it's like again, as you're in the learning phase, you still want to go ahead and and implement as you wait for that new feature that is coming. Because now again, you don't want to be just seated waiting because customers are asking, why is our phone not doing this and not
Yes,
doing that?
yes.
So I
I
think they're
think
in that
carry
that
on.
state that you will not
Mm.
say confused state, but it's like you just want to show that you're also working in this space.
Yeah, I think they have two challenges. The Samsung Galaxy, is it 14 Ultra, came with some very significant upgrades, and the main upgrade was on the camera app, which allowed you to, get AI to clean up the photo, remove the noise, and whatnot. And Apple have been struggling with that, especially on that end. But the other thing that I read an analyst say, a financial analyst, about the problem with Apple is that they have been they initially used to build such good devices that people felt no need to upgrade. So ever since they launched the iPhone 13, most people with the iPhone 13 have never seen need to because that was, I think it was iPhone 13 or 14, was the biggest leap in terms of, the camera and the interface and whatnot. And then most of what a phone does is usually controlled by the OS. And iPhone has launched also new OS. I think they're in the iOS 18. So if you had maybe a poor camera, the upgrade has already sorted that problem. If you had a battery issue, most of the time Apple phones have very good battery life. So their executives, especially because it's a public company, are under pressure to grow the sales of new phones. Now, the challenge is that when you do, when customers are saying that, okay, what more can you add? You can't just give me a better camera, you have to do something else. So the executives are forced to come up with this whole new gimmick about
Yeah.
this phone is built ground up from AI. And even I foresee them, I don't even think I foresee them, I think they even announced it, that when Apple Intelligence is actually fully integrated, people in the old devices, like say iPhone 15 going backwards, will not be able to enjoy the AI devices. So they are now using AI as a means to now get people to upgrade their devices. But
Yeah.
it's a pressure. Anyway, if you found this content interesting, we have so many other lively discussions that we have, and you can just check out here to see what else we have in store. But always remember to like, share, subscribe. Bye.
Bye.